It all started with a simple message asking for help. But the deeper they look, the darker the truth becomes. Because sometimes the person asking for help is the most dangerous one. The film begins in a ruthless corporate environment where Linda is focused at her desk, headphones on and completely absorbed in her work. Her colleague Donovan stops by, the same co-worker who earlier asked her to cover one of his assignments. Kind-hearted as always, Linda completed the task for him. As Donovan prepares to leave with the documents, Linda reminds him she was meant to attend the meeting, but he dismisses her, says he'll handle it, and walks away, another example of office politics at play. Across the room, Chase is flirting with someone he likes, and when Linda tries to join in, they subtly exclude her. She has become isolated at work, largely ignored. Later, she secretly watches the meeting and sees Donovan presenting her project as if it were his own, removing her name entirely. At home, we learn Linda once loved adventure and outdoor trips. Now she spends her evenings talking to her parrot because she has no one else, binge-watching survival shows. The next day, the company's new boss, Bradley, introduces himself. Hoping to improve her standing, Linda eagerly introduces herself. Unfortunately, Bradley is overly sensitive about cleanliness and reacts awkwardly to food on her face. Franklin explains to Bradley that his father previously ran the company and that Linda had been essential to its success, but Bradley remains unimpressed. Instead of rewarding her, he relocates her desk and promotes Donovan, who, as River reveals, happens to be Bradley's former college friend. Furious, Linda confronts Bradley, pointing out her 7 years of dedication compared to Donovan's 6 months. Bradley bluntly tells her she lacks executive presence and charisma. She becomes emotional, and though harsh, he offers her one opportunity: secure a merger deal in Bangkok, and he'll reconsider. She'll travel there with him. Moments later, Bradley's fiancée arrives, and before leaving, Bradley humiliates Linda by criticizing her hygiene and eating habits. Devastated, she sits in her car trying to gather herself. The following day, Bradley, Donovan, and Linda head to the airport. On the plane, Donovan shows Bradley a video Linda once submitted to a survival-style reality show, and they laugh at it. Realizing they're mocking her, she is heartbroken and deletes the presentation she prepared. Suddenly, violent turbulence hits. Donovan refuses to fasten his seatbelt, and chaos erupts as part of the aircraft tears away. He is sucked toward the opening, and when Linda tries to help him, he attempts to push her out instead. She defends herself with a fork, and he is pulled out as the plane crashes into the ocean. Linda escapes the flooding cabin and survives overnight in the open sea before washing ashore on a remote jungle island. Exploring, she finds Bradley unconscious with a serious head injury and a broken leg. Seeing a storm approaching, she quickly builds a shelter and creates a rainwater system, applying everything she learned from survival shows. She keeps him alive through the storm. When Bradley regains consciousness, he realizes they are the only survivors and thanks her. Linda builds a fire and surprisingly feels energized by the situation. It's like living the adventure she always imagined. She manages food, water, and shelter while Bradley mostly observes. As days pass, he starts ordering her around, insisting on signals and escape plans. When he reminds her she works for him, she finally snaps and leaves with supplies. Later, frightened and helpless during another storm that destroys the shelter, Bradley calls for her. She returns the next day, and he begins to understand this isn't his corporate world. Linda hunts a wild boar, battling it fiercely and eventually killing it. They eat that night, and she laughs at the irony of Bradley, once accustomed to luxury, now eating raw meat. While bathing near a waterfall, she spots a rescue boat but chooses not to signal it and returns silently. 2 weeks pass. Bradley grows desperate and suggests building a raft. Their arguments resume, and he attempts survival alone, failing miserably. Meanwhile, Linda thrives. Eventually, humbled, Bradley apologizes for his behavior both on the island and at work. She agrees to help him under one condition: he must contribute meaningfully. Instead of anything inappropriate, she takes him hiking, teaching survival skills. At the summit, they see endless ocean. On the descent, she nearly falls, and Bradley saves her, shifting their dynamic. That night, they share homemade alcohol and open up. Linda speaks about her late husband, who treated her poorly. Bradley reveals his abusive father and lack of affection growing up. Understanding each other softens them both. After another violent storm, Linda saves Bradley's life, and he begins to admire her courage. As they recover, the two start working together like a true team and grow closer while surviving on the island. But Bradley has a hidden plan. He prepares dinner for Linda, secretly poisons her, and then attempts to escape the island alone. However, a massive wave suddenly destroys everything, sending Bradley into the water where he nearly drowns. Linda manages to revive him and save his life, only to vomit on him moments later. The next day, she feeds him octopus that temporarily paralyzes him, reminding him what it feels like to lose control, but ultimately spares him. Soon after, Bradley's fiancée, Zuri, arrives on the island with a search team to rescue him. But Linda starts acting strangely, clearly not wanting to leave the island. She leads Zuri toward a dangerous cliff, pretending to help her find the way. Zuri has no idea where she is going, and suddenly loses her footing and falls over the edge. Instead of helping her, Linda simply stands there and watches as Zuri disappears below. Back at the camp, Bradley begins to notice that Linda is behaving strangely. She spends most of her time lying on the beach, constantly sleeping. When Bradley tells her to go out and hunt, she insists that she's feeling sick. After noticing her fork nearby, Bradley grabs it and walks away. Later that night, while Bradley is asleep, Linda suddenly hears a noise. She imagines Zuri crawling out of the water and lunging at her. Terrified, she fights back, only to realize it was just a nightmare as she abruptly wakes up. Bradley rushes back to Linda and confronts her, showing her Zuri's ring. Linda insists that Zuri died in an accident, but Bradley quickly connects the dots. Her husband had also died in an accident, and suddenly everything starts making sense. Bradley pulls out Linda's knife, but she escapes into the jungle and hides. When he finds her, Linda attacks him, trying to strangle him with his shoelaces. Bradley fights back, ripping out her hair, but Linda refuses to give up. She manages to cut him, and even when Bradley tries to protect his eyes, she keeps attacking. In a horrifying moment, Linda even swallows Zuri's ring. Just as Bradley is about to kill her, Linda grabs a fork and stabs him. Wounded, Bradley runs toward the mysterious place Linda had warned him about, and discovers a huge mansion hidden on the island. Inside, Bradley begins drinking when he suddenly hears Linda's voice. She has been watching him through CCTV cameras from a hidden control room. Bradley realizes she is tracking his every move and starts smashing the cameras one by one. Linda then confesses the truth. She could have been rescued long ago, but she never wanted to leave the island. After the caretaker abandoned the mansion, Linda discovered the huge house and began living there in luxury. But Bradley is already sneaking toward the control room while Linda continues talking. Then she makes an even more chilling confession. She admits that she was responsible for Zuri's death. When Bradley finally reaches the control room, he finds Linda waiting for him with a gun pointed directly at his head. Realizing he has nowhere left to run, Bradley starts apologizing for everything and tells Linda that he finally understands her. He claims the outside world was never meant for him and suggests that the two of them should stay on the island together forever. Then he drops the ultimate line. He tells Linda that he loves her. For a moment, Linda seems to calm down. But then she notices something strange. A bull statue is missing one of its horns. Suddenly, Linda realizes Bradley has been hiding something. Before she can react, Bradley attacks her and tries to shoot, only to discover that the gun is empty. Linda fights back and finishes him off with a golf club. Later, Linda's life takes an unbelievable turn. Her incredible survival story goes viral, making her famous and wealthy. Now living a successful life, she even begins writing a self-help book based on everything she went through.